Digital strategist Dennis Itumbi after a Nairobi court released him on a 100,000 Kenya shillings cash bill. Presiding Magistrate Zainab Abdul declined to honor the prosecution's request that he be detained for an additional 9 days. Itumbi will be required, however, to report at the Muthaiga police station every 2 days before the mention of the case on July the 22nd. Dennis Itumbi was arrested last week on Wednesday in Nairobi's Central Business District over links to an alleged assassination letter against the Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto.
Cannot be released without prejudicing the matter.
The prosecutor did not dispute these facts in his reply. No material has been placed before this court to show that the respondent will interfere with witnesses who are members of Parliament and Cabinet Secretaries. This court cannot act on assumptions, but such material must be availed. This court has not been told the number of witness statements that have been recorded. I do not see any nexus between compiling a forensic report, recording of witness statements, and having the respondent in custody. It has clearly been demonstrated that his incarceration is not necessary by the actions of the investigating officer taking a statement only yesterday. The court has been told the court has not been told how the respondent will assist in investigations while in custody. Under Section 36A of the Criminal Procedure Code, Cab 75 of the laws of Kenya, and Article 49(1)(h) of the Constitution, the court has powers to release the respondent on certain conditions or even unconditionally. This court has a responsibility to do justice to all. The upshot is that the application for extension of custodial orders lacks merit and is dismissed in its entirety. The respondent is hereby released on the following conditions. Number 1, that he be reporting once in 2 days, excluding the weekends, for the next 9 days at Muthaiga Police Station at convenient times to be agreed with the investigating officers. Number 2, that the power bank be released today. Number 3, that the mobile phone and SIM card be released at the lapse of 14 days from the date hereof. Number 4, that the respondent deposits a cash bail of 100,000 shillings. Number 5, that this matter be mentioned before this court on the 22nd of July. Those are the orders of this court.
All right, our Grace Courier has followed the ruling and now joins us live with further updates. Grace, good afternoon. What other conditions has the court issued over Itumbi's release?
Well, Jesse, before even I tell you about the conditions set by Senior Resident Magistrate Zainab Abdul, allow me to mention a book that Dennis Itumbi just came in court with. He actually was holding it, and the book is is titled "When Breath of Fresh Air," and basically it's like he was anticipating, to be released on a bail, and fortunately for him, that did work. And we have seen just a few minutes earlier, we saw Senior Resident Magistrate Zainab Abdul release him on a bail of 100,000 Kenya shillings, Jesse. Now, you did ask what conditions she set, and basically she has said that he should report once in 2 days, excluding weekends, for 9 days at the Muthaiga police station, where he was being held for a record more than 5 days, Jesse, I should say. His phone and SIM card should also be released to him in about 14 days, because this is also one of the requests that his lawyers did have, because saying that, his phone has been with the detectives for days now. So if they're done with the investigations, they should hand it back. But we did see the prosecution say that until they're done, until they get the forensic report, that is when they're going to, that is when he'll have his phone and SIM card back. Then, of course, the mention of this case will be on 22nd of July. And there was something else that came up, quite funny, I must say, was the issue of a power bank, which is said to be in possession of the detectives. And his defense lawyers were asking why they have a power bank. I mean, why do they need it? And we also saw the prosecution say that they actually don't need it. And so the judge has included it, the magistrate rather has included it in the conditions that the power bank too should be released. Now, Jesse, Senior Resident Magistrate Zainab Abdul says that the prosecution failed to show how Dennis Itumbi would interfere with the investigations while in custody, saying that the application to have him held for a further 9 days did not hold merit, because this is what the prosecution was seeking, to have him detained for a further 9 days, saying that they are yet to conclude the investigations. Remember, they had said that they will be interviewing about, or rather interrogating about 256 members of a WhatsApp group by the name Tanga Tanga Movement. This WhatsApp group is the one that Dennis Itumbi is said to have posted that letter that allegedly contains details, of the assassination of Deputy President Dr. William Ruto. And therefore they said that they are yet to interrogate them. And we were made to understand that the group, or rather the people that they're yet to interrogate, includes cabinet secretaries, members of parliament. And we saw the defense say that, some of these people are outside the country. So does this mean that Itumbi will continue to be held, until these people come back to the country? And therefore, those are some of the reasons that the defense was giving to say that the whole plea or the whole application by the prosecution to have him detained for a further days does not hold water, Jesse. Now, of course, as usual, we saw some of the leaders that accompanied him, Kimani Ichung'wah, Oscar Sudi, among other leaders, and Ndindi Nyoro there, all saying that, they're standing with him. And they actually, Kimani Ichung'wah did urge the court to allow the evidence that Dennis Itumbi has, that clip, the videotape in DVD form, to be played in court, because he says that it has evidence, that shows that indeed there are meetings that took place at Lamada, and indeed there are people that want to, assassinate the Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto. Therefore, they're asking that, as the case continues with the mention on 22nd of July and subsequent hearings, that this evidence be tabled. Now, Jesse, we were lucky enough to be able to speak to Dennis Itumbi as the only ones, I must say, allow me, Jesse, because he just walked out. After the release, there's the whole process of acquiring a release order, after paying the whole 100,000 cash bill. And therefore, we were able to speak to him. And this is what he had to say, Jesse.
Prosecutor did not dispute these facts in his reply. No material.
I would wish to begin by saying that we do not need the power bank. That can be released.
All right, we'll definitely link up with Grace Courier later on during the broadcast, but that's the latest. Dennis Itumbi has been released on a cash bail of 100,000 Kenya shillings. Remember, he was detained last Thursday